Hey guys, this is part 3, or part 4, I don't know, of What If Deku Was a True Hero. We last left off where Aizawa was talking about the USJ. Now we get to Ida trying to get everybody on the bus in a single line. That doesn't work. Then we get them to Zuko saying, pretty much saying to for them, if anything goes wrong, go with plan C. If something happens, to go with plan C. With plan, if anything happens, go with plan B. All three of them nod their heads. And when we get to USJ, all four of them immediately feel danger. And as soon as all four of them see the portal, Shiku goes like, plan A, now. And all three of them do a shield around the students. And they are outside of field. So if you know what I'm doing with this, you'll find out. Oh, and by the way, since you guys didn't choose the shirt for this, I'm choosing Toga. Because yeah. Anyway, we get to Ishiku and Aizawa facing off against the villains. And when since Shigaraki ain't in the League of Villains, let's just say this is a villain named Migato that pretty much has the same quirk as him but stronger. And pretty much has the same personality he would have had in canon. Because like, Kiri, send those students away. Because Mikito thinks that something could easily go through that barrier, which, nope. And when he sees all the villains down, and Aizawa thinks Mikito is the main boss, is the big boss, he goes immediately after him. And Zuki goes to help. But on notes to all of them, there's like one villain left that has like a quirk that evolves around chains. So like you can hold someone down or hold someone back with them. Or how this villain uses it, kill them with it. And Zuko and Aizawa are facing off against this villain, and the villain goes like, release the Nomu. And Kirigiri does. And now it immediately defends the villain, and then the villain says, bring out both. No, he says, that's what's killer supposed to be. And Zuko just goes like, no. And he just makes a fireball in his hand and blasts it at the Nomu, disintegrating it to its core. Everything is destroyed at the Nomu, and this villain just goes like, you cheated, this was supposed to kill Mama. And his stupid goes like, then you have failed. Then Ichigo's about to punch this villain, but then another arm that looks like a Nomu blocks it. And Izuku right now is only using 1%, so this arm only moved back a tad bit, and Izuku goes like, hmm? He looks up, and he sees a Nomu that looks way different. This one has the same defect on the head, which is the brain is exposed. But this Nomu is 2 times bigger, and it looks like it has scales on its body. And then this Nomu, well, the villain says, break down that barrier. And the Nomu goes, Kyogre basically brings that Nomu right next to Toga, and that Nomu punches Toga into a wall. That is right beside Dobby. And as you can see this, and his face just, and he just blacks out. Like, when Aizawa looks to Izuku, and he just sees Izuku with no response, and when Izuku turned back to the villain, he just saw nothing in Izuku's face. And Aizawa went like, Izuku! And then Aizawa looked closer, and he saw Izuku's eyes fading in and out. And all Izuku said in his mind to the other two is, Plan C. Now, before I lose it. And then you see both of them immediately grab Toga and telling all the students to run. And Izuku just speaks in a demonic but low voice. Aizawa, run. And Aizawa hasn't seen this part of Izuku, so he just runs because he does not want to see what happens next. And when everybody's together, except Izuku, they teleport to the front of the UA. And everybody but those two are heading immediately inside. And Izuku and those two just want to see what happens. And Izuku just goes like, finally. Now, before we continue this, we do a flashback to 2 years before he met Toga. And Izuku found a cave high in the mountain, like in the forest, because he's been there once before. And this cave was the one that had a hidden, basically the cave he went into right, no, not a cave. He was walking on the ground, and ground started crumbling, and then he fell down into a underground place. And when he walked around, he bumped into something. He started touching it, and he felt scales. He looked over. He heard breathing and looked over to where he saw the breathing coming from. And he sit right in front of the face and just waited until whatever this is woke up. And then it woke up. And Izuku just went like, hi. And it just freaked the heck out of this creature and go like, and Bishop pretty much go like, ah! No, haven't seen a human in a long time. And Izuku questioningly asks, "What are you?" And Izuku then this creature said, "I'm a dragon. I'm the last of my kind, a dragon." And Izuku just went like, "Cool." And the dragon saw that he wasn't scared of him at all, and asked him, "What's your name, boy?" And he went like, "Zuki Midoriya." "What's your name, mister?" And he was shocked because the last human that was ever like that. And I'm gonna change the story of Naruto a little bit. There was a dragon-tailed beast as well that Kurama himself created. It was like he pretty much gave up, pretty much put 30% of his chakra into making this, and it was a dragon. And the only creature he ever seen do that is Naruto. And Kurama made this dragon pretty early in Kurama's lot, like right after Hiroshima died. He basically made himself a son. And Kurama named him, and both in the back we're gonna have in both that, and this dragon said, "Whoa, Izuku, my name is Makarov." And Izuku was like, "Cool. How old are you?" "I know it's rude, but I really want to know." And I was like, "It's alright, child. And I'm centuries old." And Izuku goes like, "Cool." And Izuku asked, "Could you tell me everything you know about the past?" And the dragon went like, "Certainly." And like 12 hours later, and the dragon was, and Makarov was done. And Makarov was like, and that's the history of the ninja world. And yeah, and Izuku went like, "So our chakra has been sealed away, well, blocked, and we need a strong emotion to bring it back, for one person to bring it back." And my girlfriend went like, "Correct, boy. Now, until that, and I believe it, you'll eventually bring that emotion up. So until then, I'm gonna seal myself inside you." And she was like, "Okay, how does this work?" And Markov went like, "Just stand still so I can place a seal on your stomach." And went like, "Okay." And he pretty much did a very strong seal, not the Reaper Death seal. And he went into Izuku's body. And Izuku passed out on that day. And a day, like 3 days later, Izuku just went back to the city. And that's the end of the flashback. And he felt power falling through his veins, and it goes like, and he pretty much says out loud in a whisper, "Minecraft, it finally happened. And Makarov immediately wakes up and goes like, "Good job, young. Good job, Izuku. Would you like my help with this?" Because he sees him in an very angry. And Makarov real quick went through today's memories, and he's seen what happened. And Makarov went like, "Would you like me to help?" And Makarov is like the opposite of Karama, pretty much the opposite. And Naruto went like, "I would like that, thank you. I might lose control, so I'm gonna need you to take over." And he goes like, "Alright, my boy." And she goes like, "As soon as I unleash both magic and chakra, I might get unconscious. That's when I want you to take over. You got it?" And Zuko's chakra is red, and Makarov's chakra is actually the same but darker. And he's like, "Alright, Zuko." And remember, his magic is purple. And Zuko just unleashes his chakra and his magic. And his chakra is the same amount as Makarov's. So he has as much chakra as Makarov. And both of them combined is something to behold. And that's 60% of Karma's chakra. And when Karma feels chakra and something else, and then he feels something familiar, and he goes like, "Son?" Because yes, Karma still lives, but he's only to be alive now, because others just let themselves pass on. And then another person woke up. And I'm also making it, and it was go back to the Naruto timeline, and well, the time of Naruto. And Naruto, like, we're gonna say that Sasuke died and Naruto took his eyes. Well, took pretty much the other half of the Stage of Six Pass powers. And when he did that, it became the next Stage of Six Pass. And as soon as he did that, yeah. And that flashback, now he wakes up and goes like, "Chakra." And one's like, "Karma." It should be interesting. And then Makarov just takes over and goes like, "So, you will die first." And all you see is scales popping up on Izuku. And remember, Izuku doesn't have a quirk at all. So yeah. And then Makarov and Izuku's body, well, Makarov just dashes, well, blitzes the knowing count off its head. And stabs the brain. And then destroys the Melmoot every last bit. And then he goes for the villain. The rest of the villains. That villain with the chain tries to hold him, but he just screams, and then that villain died. And Marco just went like, "You're next." And then Kirigiri got them out of there. And he went like, "Fuck." And he went like, "Oh well. At least I helped Izuku." And then he starts walking towards the UA. Now to we get to OC's perspective when they saw that, and they see a big beam of light of red and purple in the sky. And we get to an hour later, and the Markov is walking inside of Zuko's body, walking, and now Zuko looks exactly like himself now, because Markov has been healing his body rapidly and not giving him any more power. But Zuko's chakra is still flowing through his body peacefully. And Zuko hasn't woken, his mind hasn't woken up yet. And Markov is still in. And the only thing that makes you say that this is not Zuko is his eyes, because the scales are not down anymore. And Zuko hasn't told the three of them about Makarov. And when Dabi and Taro see Zuko just gets closer. Well, Makarov gets closer, and then he lets go of his control. And then Zuko's body falls towards Dabi and Toya. And they grab him and bring him to his room. Now we get to Zuko's mindscape when Makarov let go of control, and Zuko starts to wake up and goes, bloody hell. Why did that hurt so much? And Markov goes like, maybe, is sitting right in front of him, and goes like, maybe because your body wasn't ready to unlock all your chakra all at once. And so he goes like, maybe. If you took control though, I would have died for sure. And then Markov goes, now I'll be able to teach you all the jutsus. And Zuko goes like, yeah. We're now going to tell the others about you and me having chakra now. And he goes like, soon, young one, soon. And Zuko, then it's a day later, and Zuko wakes up and he goes, oh, my head. And all three, and Toga woke up like after school was over. And all three of them brought Zuko back to the house, and Toga just laid down right next to him. And Zuko just, Zuko, Toga was the last one about to leave, was the last one in Izuku's room, and she was about to leave, but then Izuku just grabbed her unconsciously and pulled her into the bed. Toga was blushing, and Izuku just pretty much held her to his chest. pretty much leading her close to him. And she was blushing, and she just fell asleep. Then the next morning, as you could just looking for and then he sees that he's kind of like that he's holding Toga a little bit too close to his body, and he goes like, eat! And let's go. And Toga wakes up, and when she heard that, and goes like, and she does the same thing. And Izuku goes like, what happened? And Toga goes like, pretty much when I was about to leave your room, you grabbed me and brought me closer to your body. And Izuku is just watching badly and going like, And Toga goes like, I think that was cute. And Izuku just flushes, goes like, cute? And he just becomes a red potato. No, a tomato. And then Izuku just builds up his final. Let me answer the question. He's just curious because he's seen her blushing around him ever since a year after. And Izuku just asks boldly, do you have a crush on me? And she goes like, why do you say that? And she goes like, don't pretend that you didn't blush every time you've seen me after the first year I brought you to that old building. And Tucker goes like, yeah. And she goes like, wanna be a couple? And Tucker goes like, not good. And she goes like, why not? We like each other, so why not? And Tucker was like, sure. She goes like, niece. And that's where I'm going to end it off for now because I don't have any ideas. Sorry, guys. Anyway, comment if you like this video. Comment, like, and subscribe for more, and peace. Oh, and if you guys have any ideas for a Naruto or My Hero Academia or whatever, please tell me. I would like to try out any ideas you've come up with. Anyway, peace.